Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel, and would you believe it, Sony appears to be borrowing from Nintendo's Nintendo Direct idea for a new show that is going to be airing on March 25th, just a couple of days from now. So yes, this whole thing is as crazy and admittedly pretty cool as it sounds. Sony made a tweet earlier this morning, as you can see here, announcing State of Play. Tune in to our first episode Monday, March 25th at 2 p.m. Pacific for new PS4 and PSVR software updates and announcements. So this just happened. Pretty interesting stuff, and I figured I should take a break from playing this bad boy, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is so freaking good, to make this video and discuss this really quickly. Really not a whole lot to talk about other than just the idea and just the fact that Sony made this announcement, and they seem to be, as I stated, borrowing from Nintendo's Nintendo Directs, which I think is actually pretty cool. So if you go to the PlayStation blog, there's just a couple of quick sentences that they give us to kind of sum up exactly what it is that they're planning. State of Play will give you updates and announcements from the world of PlayStation. Our first episode will showcase upcoming PS4 and PSVR software, including new trailers, new game announcements, and new gameplay footage. You can watch live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook worldwide, and we'll be offering up the video on demand edition shortly after the episode airs. And this is just the beginning. State of Play will return throughout the year with more updates and announcements. See you Monday. So there you go. Pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. They're doing what Nintendo started a couple of years ago when they said, hey, we want to start giving direct messages to you, the gamer, and the Nintendo fan about things that we're working on, games that we want to preview and to detail, give you new trailers for, maybe make announcements for games you didn't know were coming up soon, all sorts of things. And eventually, of course, Nintendo also started doing, on the rare occasion, a game-specific Nintendo Direct. Things that jump to mind are like Bayonetta 2 or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Fire Emblem, stuff like that. And here we are with Sony announcing the same thing. This, of course, comes a couple of months after they announced that they won't be attending E3 this year. And they also didn't have a PlayStation experience this past December. So, obviously, Sony has been very likely gearing up for some new changes and some new things that are going to be happening in the world of Sony and PlayStation sometime soon. So they've been changing their approach. They've been altering how they're giving the Sony fan and the game fan information and stuff to get excited for when it comes to their products and to PlayStation. And so, you know, when they announced that they weren't going to be coming to E3, that was really, really big news. And, you know, I appeared on the Spawncast that week, actually, when they made that news, and we talked about, at that time, what is it that we might be able to expect Sony to do? Are they going to try to do some sort of PlayStation-specific showcase right before E3? Maybe the same week of E3? Maybe sometime after E3? Would the PlayStation experience be coming back this year or not? All of this also very much focused around the idea that most of us expect for the PlayStation 5 to probably be revealed or confirmed this year. Very doubtful it would be releasing this year. I don't think anyone expects the PlayStation 5 to drop in 2019, but are they going to be talking about it or telling the world, yes, it's happening, here it is, this is what it looks like, and we'll show you more next year? I mean, yeah, most of us kind of think that that's going to happen. Now, what's interesting about this, the State of Play that they're calling it, some people think that the name is dumb. I actually don't mind the name. I think State of Play it's fine. It's simple. It's not, like, the greatest, but I don't think it's terrible. The thing is, I hope that no one goes into this thing. I can't believe, by the way, it's Monday. It's just a couple of days from now. It's so crazy. But I hope no one goes into this thing expecting PlayStation 5 stuff. I mean, if you look at the tweet, they very specifically state PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. And they also say the same thing in their blog post about it. So I think that that's what everyone should expect. So anyone looking for the next-gen stuff, I would just calm down and take a step back. Obviously, there is the chance that they surprise us, and maybe they want to throw people off the scent by saying, oh, it's PlayStation 4 and PSVR only, so that at the end of the presentation, if they do show off PlayStation 5 for some reason, then it more blows everyone's mind. Sure, they could do that. I don't really think so. I feel like it's too early in the year for them to do that. Unless they were planning on dropping the PlayStation 5 this year, which I don't think, none of us should expect. There's no reason to think that PS5 is going to make some miraculous kind of surprise announcement, especially because this is their first state of play showing. So we still need to watch this thing and see what it's like. How much does it truly emulate the Nintendo Direct experience? How much does it truly feel like that? What are they doing that's similar? What are they doing that's different? They could very likely do this thing in a way that is different from a Nintendo Direct. I mean, Microsoft does the Inside Xbox shows, and those are very different from a Nintendo Direct. So maybe Sony is airing more in that angle, or maybe they're somewhere square in the middle, or maybe somehow they're doing something completely different from both of those. Whatever they're doing, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited, you guys. I think this is great. Even if it's a 100% carbon copy of a Nintendo Direct, I mean, who cares, man? I mean, jokes about how Sony copies Nintendo, they're funny, and it's true, but it's fine. I don't really care about that so much, because to me, a good game is a good game is a good game. A good console is a good console is a good console. Just because Nintendo's my favorite company and the Switch is my current favorite console on the market doesn't mean that I obviously dislike Xbox or PlayStation or PC. You guys know I own and play and enjoy all of those. And I just want Sony to be successful. And Sony is an incredible company the last couple of years, guys. There's so much great software and so much great stuff coming from Sony. Their only true problems or scandal the last couple of years has just been the crossplay thing. And I don't even really personally care about that anyway. So for me, it's like, it's kind of neither here nor there. I just want to see Sony kick ass. And if Sony needs to or decides to copy Nintendo to show us kick-ass games and kick-ass announcements and get us excited for things that they're doing in the future, bring it on, man. I have no reason to see this as a bad thing if it's a quality show just because they're copying Nintendo. I don't care about that. I mean, Nintendo's always been blazing trails, man. Come on, we know this. Nintendo's been doing this for 35 years or 40 years, whenever they started making video games. Like, that's what they do, and the industry is typically following suit, and I think that that's fine. So we're used to this. And as I tweeted earlier this morning when this news broke, once Nintendo started Nintendo Directs and they started to take off and get quality and people enjoyed them, I think we always knew that eventually somebody would straight up copy this formula. And if that's what State of Play truly is once we see it on Monday, just like I said on Twitter, this was only ever going to be the outcome. Nintendo did a crazy thing, it started to take off, and it's setting a trend and a standard within the industry, and here we see Sony probably starting to borrow from that same model. So overall, I expect this to be probably a simple show for their first one. I think the main things we could expect that might be big pieces of news would be information or release date confirmations about some of their big games. Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, Days Gone, that's another one as well, although we know that that's coming sometime soon. These are the games we might probably hear about. I hope that we hear about. They have to push these games, but I also think some of them may also be making it to the next generation. You guys have heard me say, I firmly expect The Last of Us 2 to be a cross-generational title and launch on both the PS4 and the PS5. Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding, those games could be PS4 games, but they could also be PS5 games as well, you guys. I mean, there's a good chance that that happens with any of those titles. So it would be interesting to see what happens there. Are they going to give us a humongous, unknown, secret PlayStation 4 game that's a super high-tier, high-quality game? Maybe, but I don't know that I would necessarily expect that. I think it might be too late in the PS4's life for them to do something like that. Most of their big exclusive projects are probably all moving to next gen right now, to the PlayStation 5. So, you know, probably a couple of soft announcements and soft reveals and trailers for smaller tier games for PS4 and PSVR. Some hopefully some information on the big three, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and Last of Us 2. And that's it, man. They're just popping their cherry here. It's going to be their first show. They said they're going to do more throughout the year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens near the end of the year. And again, how the State of Play shows affect or change the PlayStation experience. Or maybe these are meant to replace the PlayStation experience outright. Until Sony tells us more, we're not going to know. Maybe some more information comes out about this around the week of E3 or sometime after, so I guess we'll kind of see. But overall, at the end of the day, I think this is cool, man. Whether it's copying Nintendo or not, I don't care. As long as it's good, as long as it shows us great games, and it shows us Sony is working hard to impress us and give us quality products, I don't care. I'm ready, man. I'm into it. So those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Monday will be very interesting. I can't wait to see how this plays out, and I hope that it's a really good, fun show. Yeah, so what do you guys think, man? Are you excited about this? Are you not? Do you think it's great? Do you think it's not? Are you mad that they seem to be copying Nintendo? Or are you like me and you think it doesn't matter as long as it's good stuff? That's all that's important. So whatever you think, talk about it below. This video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Ro2R, and I'll catch you next time on another video.